Dr. Uzwi-Lezwe Radebe, leader and founder of the Revelation Spiritual Home, launched an introduction of an intro into African Indigenous Spirituality book, which aims to differentiate between religion, universal spirituality and African Indigenous Spirituality. The book makes a clear distinction between the sectors and their functionalities in the societies in which they are practiced. He joins us now for more on this conversation. Dr. Uzwi, thank you so much for joining us this evening here on SABC News. Let's start off with the book that you have written. If perhaps you can just tell us, what prompted you to write this book?
Evening, Bali, and to your viewers tonight. Spirituality plays a very vital role, an important role to especially African societies. But, we have lost our spirituality, not totally, but it has affected us due to colonization and the introduction of your Eurocentric religions that came through colonization to Africa. And today's spirituality is mostly confused with religion. Oh. So that's why we wrote this book, so that we can clarify this confusion and allow people the opportunity for them to trace their spiritual roots and trace them back, so that African people can embrace who they were spiritually before your colonization.
And perhaps maybe let's dissect the topic here a bit. And of course, you are saying that you're telling us the differences in your book between religion, universal spirituality and African Indigenous spirituality. If maybe in a nutshell, you can just give us an insight in terms of how different these three are.
Okay, I think most your archaeologists and your scientists and researchers and everyone mostly agree that life began in Africa. Africa is the mother continent. And when Africa was created, it was created together with its spirituality. So as people migrated to other continents in the world, then you started to have what you call your universal concept of spirituality, which emerged from what you call your African Indigenous spirituality, meaning that spirituality practiced within the African context. Universal spirituality now practiced in the universal context. Now, religion, of course, religion is not spirituality. Religion was formed by humans on matters of spirituality.
And this book that you have written, who does it appeal to?
It appeals to everybody. I think you have seen the clips of our book launches. We had even different races who are coming. We even have requests that are coming from even the Netherlands and all over the world, because people are beginning to understand that spirituality is actually the solution for many problems. Remember that a person that is spiritual is a person with empathy. We are going to elections now. We are talking about politics. Could you imagine a world or a South Africa with politicians who are spiritually conscious? A person who's spiritually conscious as empathy is a person who understands the plight of others, not only on a mental state or economical state, but on a spiritual level. So this book is appealing to everybody who wants to be spiritually conscious.
And to talk about those who want to be spiritually conscious, what makes this book so important?
Yes, so that people to be able to trace back their spiritual roots. Because remember that for you to understand spiritual matters, you need to have some kind of understanding about spiritual matters, so that you are able then to tap into your spirituality, and then you are able to be a person that is spiritually conscious. And so this book it assists, although it's just the introduction, and the emphasis on this particular one is separating mostly the religion part, because many people confuse the two. They confuse religion and spirituality.
And I'm coming to that. Why is it that, often it's always confused? Some then are told that you can't mix the religion with the spirituality or, the likes. Why is it so confused between religion, universal spirituality and African indigenous spirituality?
I'm just a bit cautious. I don't want to go too much deep into religion because the topic is about spirituality. But the two, of course, are confused because how do I term religion? Religion was created by humans. Religion has a start date. All religions, they have a start date. They have where they began. They were began by humans. When humans wanted to have an understanding or define spiritual matters. So religion is not spirituality. Religion is a human concept of spirituality. Therefore, religion then deprives you from fully exploring spirituality. Remember that humans, we are on a physical world and we are flesh and human beings. But there is a spiritual world. There are spiritual entities that exist that as physical people, we should connect with them. And through only in a spiritual form, we are able to hear and understand the spiritual dimension and the spiritual entities. So in religion, you can't be able to hear the spiritual entity or the spiritual dimension. It's only through a person who's spiritually conscious who is able then to understand spiritual matters.
And I'm sure those who are religious maybe might have a different view from your point of view, but I'm sure there are commonalities when you look at the two. Maybe perhaps let's look at the commonalities. What do they have in common? The spirituality part of the side as well as religion.
Yes, and by the way, this book, it's not only based on revelations, but it's also based on research. Yeah. So it's most of that is there. It's factual because, as I said, that we work with scholars when it comes to religion. Now, when you come to commonalities, of course, as I'm saying that, maybe let me put it this way for your viewers to understand. Religion, it's like the tradition of spirituality, meaning that those who are spiritual people or spiritual guides or guiders, they receive the spiritual messages, then they can cascade it to probably your religious people. Then your religious people, it's like a tradition. Then they are able then to cascade it to the people and teach it to the people and be custodians probably of that message. Probably that is the similarities between the two.
Yeah. And if those, seem to be interested in what you are telling us today and would like to get a hold of your book, where can they purchase this book?
We currently launch in Cape Town, in Waterfront, at exclusive stores. So you can find it there. And we launched this past Saturday at Melrose Arch. Exclusive store, so you can also find it there. But if you can't find it, you can also call us on 064 701 4677. You can get us on that and we can be able to organize a copy for you.
Dr. Uzwi, thank you so much for talking to us here on The Late Edition.